should we just give it started? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. All I wanna see is you are within. Let me say again, come on and let me in. Have no fear, no shame in showing what you're carrying. In fact, the opposite. It's brave to look at it, so come on, love now. Let me in, let the work begin. I promise I'm your friend, don't be afraid. Now let's begin, the work will never end. Together we will win. So come on, love, let me in. Whoa. We just want to be in good company. Come on now, because right now, with the shallowness, it's not very good company. You want people who care about each other, not just about themselves and of bulldozing through it.
You want community.
So this is the thing. Like, if whatever you need is there, then what's the need for making loads of money or whatever? Or there's someone who can provide it, or a community space where you can. If you want space to do something like a workshop or whatever, if there was a community workshop and you didn't have to go through and build your own and make space and clear things, and you could use it and there's enough space for you to do it, then that's a wonderful thing. You wouldn't even think to make your own one. And things like that used to exist, I suppose, spaces like that.
I think we often get stuck in this mindset that we have to do everything ourselves. We have to create everything and we have to own everything, and that's what success is. And almost there's a feeling that if you were to we talk a lot about having land. That's something I think all of us like the idea of. Well, that's only successful if I have bought the land and I own the land and it's but no, what if you find somebody who has the land, who will bring you on there and you work together? Is that not
ask you just to take
successful too? Is that not you living the life that you wanted to live?
I guess people fear but then they could kick me out and it can be taken away and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
that's managing a relationship,
and it is managing a relationship.
That's another thing people don't want to do.
That's a massive thing with community, which goes hand in hand with wanting land and space. That's usually the next thing that people bring up is, I wish I had more community, or I just don't feel like I fit in this world, so I want to go and build a commune off somewhere, just sort of take myself away, and I want to live just with my friends or just with my family, whatever it is. And they have this sort of romanticized idea that a community is a group of people that all think the same and they have all the same opinions about everything. And
then my opinion.
And then my opinion. And they just get on.
You don't realise everyone outside of you is just your own mirror.
Yeah.
and then that's actually
triggered by the same shit.
Yeah. That's not what a community is. It's people who live together, and even you will have differing opinions, you will have different ideas. But in spite of all that, you treat each other with respect and kindness. That's what community is. That's what that's what it means to live with people.
Yeah, being accepted despite your differences.
Yeah, exactly.
Unity in
diversity.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's the motto of South Africa.
Yeah.
Really? Unity and diversity.
Yeah. It's in the Khoisan language, which unfortunately isn't included as one of the national languages, which they're trying to make.
Right.
But at least that is there, unity and diversity, and we
in Khoisan.
Say it again.
We met some Khoisan people last time we were in South Africa. They were they've been doing the peaceful protest outside the government building since 2018, wasn't it? And we went last year, so they were there for a long time. They had built just to patch out, and to get the real context of it, the government, the union buildings, very grand, beautiful buildings built during apartheid era, but sort of government buildings. So now it's the ANC party that's there, which was Nelson Mandela's party that he was a part of. So in front of that you have this big statue of Nelson Mandela with his arms out, someone who really represents that unity and diversity in South Africa. And then in front of that statue you have the Khoisan people, who are really the only people you can call indigenous people to South Africa. They were Khoi people and San people, and their way of protesting was to come and live on this section of land, and they grow their food. They have a goat, they have some chickens, they built like a little hut, and they put up some posters with information around the camp, which talks about the atrocities that had been committed against them, how incredibly, unimaginably horrifically they were treated, so that they can share part of their story about why they're here now and why they want to show people this is who we are and this is how we live. We're nothing to be scared of or demonized or looked down on as lesser than anybody else. And the protest is because they want to be recognized as indigenous people. They want their language to be recognized, and they just, they want to be seen as for what they are. And
which is the irony of it being literally the coat of arms, like their little slogan, but not.
And it was something Nelson Mandela was
his
passionate
son,
about.
His grandson was part of the protest. Like he sort of turned up sometimes, apparently. And sadly, I know now that we're talking about it, I think they came and like actually broke it all down. But then, as they were doing this, was so beautiful. One of the guys was like, "Oh, we'll just rebuild it," with a smile like this. Yeah, we'll just rebuild it, man. No problem. Easy. We did it so easy last time.
Yeah. The resilience and like the holding on to kindness was such an inspiration. Like, but the absolute brutality of the suffering that they had been through as a group of people, the worst that you could possibly imagine, and to hear from that to still hold on to kindness is the most important
it's
thing.
That true sort of embodiment of Jesus' turn the other cheek,
exactly,
isn't it?
Exactly. It was beautiful, and it was lovely and they just welcome us. You can just go and have a chat with them, and they were like, yeah, come in and sit and we'll tell you, because they just want to tell you about themselves and their lives, and that as a form of protest as well is so powerful, because how can someone demonize you and when you're just there saying, well, come and see who we are. No, we're not out in the sticks. All right, we'll bring it right into the city centre, and we'll show you exactly who we are, and we'll invite you. Our protest is we'll invite you into our home and sit with you. And
it is that, isn't it? The antidote to prejudice, you know, is that getting to know each other and realizing we're all humans and we're all storytellers, and we should all be like that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because if someone comes really aggressive, like, and you're just kind and nice to them, soon it becomes very inappropriate. Like, it's so awkward. And you're like, I want to escalate this.
Am I the dick in this situation? Like, am I?
It's that typical, I always say it, like when I speak to people when they have anger issues or whatever, it's watch the energy you're putting out, because it will always, like a pendulum, bounce back at you. So if you just sit there and you don't push anything back, there is nothing there, that will play with the other.
I say it's like it bounces off the wall behind you there, and then it echoes back, and they hear it. But to be still enough so that it does bounce back before you react is like.
Well, that's the job. That's the challenge to learn.
That's the work.
The work,
At school, well, like all my life, I was, especially when I moved here to the UK, I was dubbed Smiley Steve. I was always just Steve in my life. And then suddenly I was Smiley Steve. I was like, what the hell? Like, only then I really became aware that I was like, oh, am I a joyful person? Okay. But then I started really like paying attention to it, and I realized that whenever I went against that, if I do become aggressive or whatever, it seemed to blow up for me way quicker than anyone else. Someone who constantly is like that, you know, people start learning. Okay, this guy's a bit of like, let's just. But then they're a bit more alone, you know, when you're constantly
Constantly prickly.
aggressive and prickly, yeah. Where for me, I was like, God damn, I'm never like this. And the one time it blew up in such a way. And it's horrible. Yeah. And I think maybe it's just because I was so sensitive to that kind of atmosphere. Maybe I took it like that. But that's why I was like, okay, no, it's better to be just...
But it's when you see, when you become aware of that, and then you recognise the power of it, and when it is appropriate. So, like, to step into that authority, like if we're hosting our open mic night and everybody is chattering away and we're trying to say, actually be quiet now, because this person is bearing their soul here for you. You need to stop your conversation. And if you get a bit stern or something, people will then go, oh, okay, right. He's being serious now. He's usually so joyful and calm, and okay, I can see we're stepping over the line here, and we should reel it back in.
That's the thing about Leo, right? It's like the emanating sun of warmth and joy and like comfort, and then when those clouds roll in, it gets cold, you know, it gets cold real quick when that sun's not shining. So it's a gift, like you said, just being able to use it in the right manner.
Yeah, and I certainly remember like one incident where I'm always like relatively calm, and like I once just raised my voice slightly. Like it was nowhere near what someone else would call a raised voice, but because I'm normally so calm, everybody in the room just stopped immediately, you know, and was like, oh my God. You know, whatever I was saying had such an impact immediately because they knew I would not normally raise my voice to that, to even that level.
That's it.
So you like you said, you can use that.
And it's such
to get the attention.
And you just make sure you're holding the reins. Where for most people, they're not holding the reins. Fuck the reins. Go horses, freeze down. It's like, of course, it's going to be a mess then.
Like, you know, so my husband's someone who I would call him the volcano outbreak. You know, and going through perimenopause, I'm now having moments where I sometimes it's just like you can't stop it. It goes whoosh, you know, and then it's like, oh, I'm really sorry afterwards.
But that's it.
But there was such liberation and freedom, and sometimes just allowing yourself to go that way.
Because the key thing is afterwards. Then how do? Because in the moment it comes and it erupts, but then how do you deal with the situation once the eruption is over and you've been aware of it?
And the sorry is you caught the rain.
Exactly. It's that. Oh, sorry. You know, that was way over the top, and that was the wrong tone. And you know,
I used to work quite a lot with children, and I worked with kids with special needs, and I worked with kids and teenagers who had been expelled or suspended from school for bad behaviour, and just worked in school districts that we just had a lot of very overfilled classrooms and kids with a lot of needs and things. So every day there were moments where I had to be stern with children, but most of the time, like exactly the same situation that we've all just said, most of the time I'm so calm and smiley and happy with them that the moment my face dropped, they knew something was wrong. Or if I do have to raise my voice and shout at them to tell them, say if they're doing something dangerous and I really have to, I've got to bark at them right now, that was whatever. But instantly coming back around from that and showing them, say I've barked at them and they've listened to me and they've gone, okay, fine, and then they're sat doing their work again, noticing that and going over and being like, that's awesome, well done mate, that's really, really good, and giving them that smile and that warmth and that praise, not just giving them the cold shoulder and like holding it against them, showing that you can have discipline, you can be assertive and be told what to do, but that doesn't mean I'm not doing it because I hate you, and I'm not doing it because I don't like you anymore. Bringing that warmth back immediately praising, if they've done something good, immediately praising them for it was so powerful and worked so well. And I had such a better relationship with these kids than some of the other people who were just all the time and never really came back around to that warmth again.
Otherwise, it's just narcissistic, isn't it? And then you damage the child.
Yeah, they don't feel like they can trust you, and they just feel like no matter what they do, they're going to get told off. And then, well, why would I try and be good? Why would I do what you say if I'm just going to get told off all the time anyway, and you're not even going to notice when, for me, I do a little thing that was
it's the praise, isn't it? That, like, to me, we don't give enough praise in society. We should all do that more.
Yeah.
And based on someone's capabilities, have they gone beyond their capabilities? Praise it.
Yes.
Not because of, but they can't do what that guy can do. Who cares? They've gone beyond what they can do.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to train a dog by sort of telling it off. You treat it, you give it treats, and then they follow the treats.
Yeah, that's it. And letting people express themselves. There's one story that will forever stick in my mind from working in these places. I worked for a charity that was a Somali run charity. This was in northeast London. So I was tutoring boys between the age of sort of 13 to 16, all from Somali backgrounds, who had been either expelled or suspended from school for bad behaviour, and I was tutoring them English. And it was me and between 6 to 8 boys in the classroom, and I was about I think 20 at the time, 19 even, 20. It was sort of my first year of university, and they told me, okay, so at the moment we're studying Othello with them, the Shakespeare play, so good luck, enjoy. It's me by myself, there's no other adult in there, and I'm looking at this room full of young black boys thinking, this is one of the most racist plays that exists. This is, and I'm gonna teach this to them, this 20-year-old white woman from Worcestershire. All right, let's see how this goes. And we start reading, we start doing it, and someone asks a question, why did they call him the beast with two bats? Because of his relationship with this woman. And they're saying that because Othello is a Turk, so you could perceive him as black. They certainly, in this context, we can perceive him as him being a black man and her being a white woman, and that's why they're saying they don't like this relationship. And this boy goes, "Miss, that's racist." And I was like, yeah, it is. And he went, "That's fucked up." And I was like, yeah, it is fucked up. Can you tell me why? And when he said that it's fucked up, it was like my training would tell me he needs to be reprimanded because he swore in the classroom. And that popped into my head, and I was like, yeah, but he's right though. This is fucked up. And I could see he was passionate about it, and so I said, why is it fucked up? What? And he gave this great not speech, just a great answer to the question, because he could speak from his own experience. He was passionate about what he was saying, and yes, he swore all the way through it. And I was like, that was brilliant. We'll go and take the swear words out and we'll write it down, and that is your essay. And he was he was like, yeah, okay, and they got into it and they loved it because they connected to it, and just giving them that chance to express themselves in whatever way it came out, rather than just immediately going, oh, I meant to tell them that they're not allowed to use these words in class. If I'd have done that would have just absolutely dampened his fire, and he would have gone, oh, well, I'm not going to bother ever saying anything again in class. And I think that was one of the biggest, that moment will stay with me forever as one of the biggest moments of learning. And you can have rules in place but really it's your own. You've got to be able to follow your own sense of what is appropriate and what is inappropriate, rather than just blindly following, okay, the social norm or the social rule is that we're meant to do this, but actually being able to see, okay, here I can see this is a safe way for us to not, we don't have to stay within that box here.
It's an incredible example.
So cool. It's like showed them how you can be an outlaw, just like edit it a little bit, and you put it in your essay. You put your whole argument right there, and everyone will read it. And you use all the nice words, and then people are reading it and like.
Because there's such a huge issue that we actually face in our school system, is that we're never really allowed, or that's the ability to stand up and speak out isn't nurtured as much. But then you being able to create that space and be like, perfect, there you go, you found your heart and passion in that moment. And that's why I think so many of us did not get in school, we didn't get to find our heart and our passion, we didn't get to find our voice, we didn't get to find ourselves in any way.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we've all kind of like lived a more contracted version of ourselves because of that.
Being able to express yourself is such an important skill, and it's something you've got to practice as well, because there's so many times, even if it's a skill that you are good at, there'll still be times where it doesn't come out the way you intended it to, and having those spaces where you're free to express yourself and feel like this is an appropriate place to do it, is so important, and not just for children, for adults as well, because so many of us carry those wounds into adulthood, like you said, like we didn't have a chance to do it when we were a child, so now I'm an adult, I just stop growing, or I stop learning.
If you don't have it as a child, how are you going to learn to do it? That's the thing, isn't it? Because whatever you learn as a child is what you carry with you into adulthood. So
having those places for adults as well is so and just the places are secondary to the knowledge that adults need support. They need to play, they need to express themselves. We're not just work machines that suddenly then are expected, oh, you've hit 18 years old or 21 years old, oh well, you should have it all figured out by now, and then you're fine. No one's going to help you anymore, no one's, you don't need nourishment, you don't need this. But,
which is completely contrary to what's happening in society, when most of us in our 20s are just like drowning, like what the fuck is going on?
And this is a thing where there's a lot of pride as well. Human beings, they still have all the pride, but right now the way it isn't how it's supposed to be, and it isn't like you should. If you were joyful as a child, you should be ecstatic when you're 30. If you were, it should go that way, but it's gone the other way for sure. And the thing is, before you can even do anything about it, you've got to see where you're at. And if you're not willing to admit, like, oh, actually, my growth has been stunted, my emotional growth, any growth that's beyond the physical, and for a lot of people it even touches the physical if it's been stunted that much, that certain things literally didn't develop as well. Now if you've got a whole bunch of pride about, oh, you're saying I'm stupid or whatever, it's like, well, I'm not saying that, or I'm not, sorry, this came out completely wrong way. It's just the thing that no one's saying it. You just got to look at, okay, what are the general capabilities and where am I at? Can I handle situations with the same amount of ease as my friends? If I can't, it doesn't bloody matter, like, your pride in that sense. If you don't accept that you can't handle it, then you're not going to look at it properly. You're going to look at it through like you're going to side eye it, or worst case, you're going to look in the wrong direction. And then how the hell can you deal with the thing anyway? How can you know where to put your feet, like, or to walk, because you're refusing to look where you want to walk. And that's really hard, because most people are there, right? This is what we're talking about, where you don't even need to say something. If you're very different, but it's obviously working for you, you're a very equanimous, healthy, happy human being, but it's so different from the social norm. People can sit there with a lot of prejudice towards you, without even noticing that they just don't want to look at the fact that, oh, this is actually working for this person, and it's completely against the way I'm living my life right now. But if you're not willing to look at that, then that word willing, you're not willing. That's all you need to take from that. I'm not willing yet, so go and work on that first. You know, you got to just be willing to be like, where am I actually at? Okay, physically I'm not there. Really, you got to sort that out first anyway, if you're going to want to sit still or something.
Yeah, I was in France last weekend, and we were all sitting around, and there was like a party, there was about 25 people, and one of the girls said, you know, what's your secret? What do you do? Like, your skin looks amazing, you know, and I was like, well...
And it does.
And, you know, and I was like, well, my secret is A, that I don't use anything. Water. And then... whatever you are on the outside comes from within. So, you know, I don't drink alcohol, I eat only healthy food, I try to live my life joyfully, and it was always like, as I was going through the list, she was like, oh no, I couldn't do that, oh, I couldn't do that, oh, you mean I couldn't, no,
concluding.
I need my cigarette, I need my, you know, my wine or whatever, and I couldn't just eat healthy food all the time, kind of thing, you know, and you just go, so then... Okay. You've got the skin you've got. It's all a cause and effect relationship in this world.
But you just have to be like, I can't do that yet. Can't do that yet. Like one by one, you know.
It can seem overwhelming.
It's like, well, start with one thing.
Like you were talking about willingness, and you were saying to me when we started our work together, we had a sort of initial phone call where you didn't tell me this at the time, but you were sort of saying you have to kind of figure out if this person, are they willing basically to do this, because you can give somebody all the advice that you want, like you just said with this woman, yes, this and this, but if you're not willing to try it, then what's the point? There's no secret magic wand that it's just, oh, I wave my wand like this, or here, I give you this crystal, and now everything is sorted, and you don't have to do anything, unless they're ready and willing to actually change habits.
In a way, when it comes to health or whatever, I think we have created that society where people think the pills are the magic wand.
Or the doctor's going to do it.
Do it for
somebody else. Somebody else is going to tell you
and there's
how
almost
to do
that
it
sense
and
of,
fix
what
it.
do you mean I have to take responsibility for my health?
No,
why would I do that? You know?
And this is the thing, comfort, right? Because it is comfort. Like when you can't do what you like, because I like a cigarette, I like the taste of this food, but you haven't got the attention span to figure out how does this make me feel afterwards. Maybe all those garbage thoughts is because I'm making a garbage brain out of garbage food. and that's too much, you know, you don't have the attention span. I mean, this is quite brutal said in this way. It's too, but the point is, it's like to go, okay, can I be... so, and you spoke about this earlier, you know, sometimes when you do actually put the work in, it is a bit like, it's not comfortable, but you got to just keep your eye on the direction. Like, is progress being made? Now, if you're only giving it 2 weeks, then, you know, you gotta, this is what I mean, you gotta accept and just see where you are right now. I hurt because I've done all the wrong moves. Now I've got to start doing the right moves, but when you start doing the right moves, that initial hurt is like, you see how wrong your moves were, you know, for a moment. And
so
it's going to be
emotional damage on top of it as well.
Oh, you got, and the emotional, because you have an emotional attachment to food and all these things. But for sure, if you put yourself in an environment or in an atmosphere where everyone is going, hell yeah, this is great, you're doing great, this is, or everyone is also striving, and that word, striving is the word, everyone is striving, so, and you're among all those people, that's going to be way easier. If you're among people who are just doing the comfortable thing, and you're trying to strive, it's going to be an uphill battle all the time, because the atmosphere isn't there. That's the... So just
but not
having,
impossible.
It's not impossible for sure.
Plenty
Like
of us do it in those environments.
I'm saying like in my it's certain ways that I did things I for sure do, and I'm still like in that where it's only us two like doing it a certain way, and then everyone around you, they think it's weird, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know you're doing the right thing if people think you're weird. It's like, yes.
But you know, it is at this point we're like, God, can we just get a culture of well-being? Can we just start creating this? Because then it's so much.
Man.
It should be easier for every one person does it, hella hard for that person. Then the very next person that does it around them, it should be easier for them.
Yes.
Then the next person for them, it should be even easier, and then easier, and then
That's the point of
eventually
evolution.
they just walk in and they're like, oh. I'll do the right things for this body and and it's different for everyone. This is where you have to figure it out for yourself as well. Everyone, because not everyone wants to do the same lifestyle either. So that means of course you're not going to eat the same amount, you're not going to do the same amount of exercise, you're not going to do, so you got to, it's still going to be your own personal journey. No one's going to do it for you.
But the baseline of well-being should be like simpler for people, easier for people.
And nature, especially now and stuff, when nature has that baseline, most of the wild animals are above it. You can see by the activity. Every morning they're up and going. But sadly, most human beings are below the line that nature drew for you. So when nature shoots its energy through you, and all your pathways are wonky and stuff, what's it going to be? It's going to hurt. It's not going to feel nice. It's going to hurt. And then eventually, if there's a weakness, it will break.
Literally.
So you got to figure out what those pathways are. There is a definite way to be healthy in things, and just like do those right moves. Which, I mean, you know, I'm saying it like this is obvious things. Everyone knows what healthy.
I think that's the thing, is that we have reached a stage now where people know.
You know.
People know what the right thing is.
And you can do
it's
it
just,
quick.
are you prepared to do it or not? You know.
And does take discipline, and that's where you've got to take charge of the atmosphere. This is what they mean, distancing yourself from something that's not serving you right now. If you need to distance yourself from something toxic or a friend who's just not conducive to the way you want to live right now, yes, it's gonna hurt your heart. But you know, you gotta. That's the point. My heart hurts all the time because I'm seeing people who are very unhealthy and they just constantly going down the same path. I'm like, it's not gonna get better. It's just gonna get worse. So. But you realize, like, okay, fine, that's just an emotional response, and that shows that I'm a human being because I care for you. But you're not willing, so I can't do anything about that. It's just all I'll do is my heart will hurt every time.
I found that where and this wouldn't be the case in every scenario, but where I took distance from people that I had, that when I was in a bad place and recognizing, right, I'm very willing right now to do whatever it takes to change this, and part of that did involve taking some distance from some people. Now, when I've seen those people again, because I strengthened myself, because I became stronger in who I am. Now that if I meet people who, we don't quite align necessarily, as it were, there can be a bit of friction. I'm stronger within myself, so it doesn't. I don't get pulled into their behaviours or their patterns. And now, if I see them, they see me being so much stronger. They see a change in me, especially because actually some people, it was maybe 2 years or so that they didn't see me. And
So it's obvious.
there's an obvious change, and they will look at me, what, you done something, and now I'm interested to know what it is that's happened here. And they are so much more receptive to hearing about what I've done or what I've found that has helped me feel stronger and healthier. And had we just tried to have those conversations beforehand, when actually, if we ever did broach subjects like that, when it was purely really theoretical and it was just ideas and bouncing, you can do this, or it didn't really land, and we were just clashing because it was just the intellectual play. It was just theories like bashing against each other. Only when I took that distance, put those theories into actual experience and came back to them stronger and healthier, and then I don't have to say anything. I don't have to say any words. I'm just the proof.
You are the proof.
They go, oh, okay, now, all right. Okay, now I'll listen because I can see something has worked here.
That's way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get tired of talking about things all the time. Like, my life is my message. That's what Gandhi says.
Yeah, that's it. It's so.
And suddenly you can, now that word authority comes up, because you're like, oh, you're not shaken by it at all, because you're like, well, it works.
Yeah.
Just do it.
That's it.
But you have to do it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Like, in the beginning, I think I was, like, when it comes to the endometriosis stuff, it was almost like you felt like you had to prove yourself. And then you realize, well, actually, I am the proof.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is nothing I've got to do to persuade anyone, because I'm right here.
Yeah.
You can't tell me it's not working, because
Because I'm living it.
I'm living it.
And literally,
Exactly.
like there was a point you were weak and now you're strong. It could just as simple as that. Like there's a point Natalie was literally like bedridden for a bit, and now freaking goddamn, I don't know anyone who can put up with so much. When we're out and stuff, and you're brave, so brave. It's amazing. Yeah, the stuff, what doesn't break you makes you stronger. It's exactly that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You live
absolutely
to tell
can.
tale, all those things.
Yeah.
Are so true.
Yeah, it's true. I'm so glad as well that I feel like I had a lot of accelerated experiences in my life, and my health was one of those. I hit a kind of rock bottom early on in my life, and that gave me the motivation to go, okay, I need to do anything. I will do whatever it takes to change this. But also now, with where I am, I can relate to people who are still back where I was 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and I can remember being in that position. I can remember people saying things like, oh, you've got to move your body and eat healthily, and I would be like, fuck off, I don't want to do that. You don't understand my pain and all of this stuff. So I still want to hold on to that just hold on in the sense of being able to relate to remembering what it felt like to be in that place, to be able to still talk to people who are there, because I couldn't imagine being where I am right now back then. And that's that thing that we were talking about wanting people to realize how extraordinary we all are and how much potential we all have, because it's so much more than we can even conceive of, really.
That's the thing, isn't it? To me, the sort of vastness of who we are is you can't even imagine when you first set out on that journey.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
When you tap into that potential we carry, just imagine all humans would live their true potential. Wow.
And this is where this body needs to be robust to handle. Otherwise, if you put that full potential through it then, and it's not robust, it will break down. And that's what happens. You see this. You see, it's really sad. We notice as musicians, you see with like a child star or something, they get flung into the success is so quick, and it happens. This word viral, and people, it's almost become a bit of a. It's actually, we set this intention, even though we didn't want to. We wanted success. Please, just success, come. But then you start realizing, but am I actually ready for doing gig after gig after gig after gig? And then we did a bit of a thing where we did 3 in a row, so just bam, bam, bam. All kinds of, they were all different kind of gigs. So that was an extra level of complexity. But after those 3 gigs, we were quite tired. So we're like, okay, if this was 10, then we're not ready.
We're not.
We got to be stronger. We got to be physically, literally. And that's just the thing where you got to sort of accept where you are and actually see where you are, see what you can handle, and don't So that's why I brought up these kids or whatever, is because they get flung into a lifestyle that they're not set up to handle. And then of course you have a breakdown, you know, and it's public. That's the worst part. Now it's public, and there's people you are their role model. So they act. You see, there's like a wave of acting out. Then suddenly, oh, my role model had a breakdown. Maybe I should have a breakdown.
It shows the importance of like slow incremental growth over time, doesn't it? Like same with the health. Like we all want that quick fix, that immediate solution.
Yeah.
On the physical side, but on the anything that's non-physical, there's only limited. Well, there's only infinity in that sense. You got to either go there or you're. And this is the direction. Like your direction when you're looking at, okay, I've got to work this body and things. You've got to see that, okay, I'm never going to get to perfection. That will never happen because whenever you're doing something incrementally, which is only in the physical realm, we're doing it incrementally. I will never get to a perfect state. I can always better this. But when it comes to anything non-physical, you've got to be there or not there. So it's infinity or you got nothing.
It's one or nothing. We are in union with everything, or you're not.
And that's like. But then that's quite. And then you see like your acceptance needs to be infinite. When your body's a bit like tired right now. You don't let your pride like push you on, you know. Your body heed the warnings, and you do what it needs to do so that it's as short as possible, and then you're back to full strength and full power, and then off you go again.
But then, how do you discern the difference between like, oh, my body's craving some junk food. I can't heed my body in that moment. I've got to be in control in that sense.
I find if I'm craving something that is bad for me, in the sense like junk food, cake, whatever it is, I can recognize that there's something emotional happening now, like because I've formed an emotional attachment to this bad thing. I've got this idea that I need to treat myself, and I've associated this idea of a treat with cake or crisps or a takeaway, and I can, or I need to drink alcohol or whatever it is, and then I might do that. If I do it and if I do have the treat, especially if it really is at a time where I feel like I'm sad and there is like an emotional weight that's happening, and I'm going, oh, okay, I'm gonna have my drink, I'm gonna eat all this. And then afterwards, I don't feel very good. I feel like heavy and weighted.
I was just going to say that's my strategy. When I have that craving, I think about the moment afterwards.
Yeah.
And I tune into the feeling afterwards.
Yeah, it's starting to notice that.
And I know, I might, that the feeling when I've had a McDonald's burger, or I know the feeling I've had after a night of drinking, or... whatever it might be.
That's it. It's becoming aware of it as well, because I'd do it and I was totally unaware that was happening. I'd feel bad, I'd eat the crappy food and I'd feel bad, but I was feeling bad the whole time and I was just not even aware of anything happening. But it was working with you were the person who shared this with me, and then becoming aware of okay, actually, I do feel really crappy after eating that. So then having times where I've gone, okay, I feel a bit rubbish. I feel like I need to treat myself. I want to treat in this scenario. But what is a treat, really? What am I understanding that concept to be? I'm feeling I've got a bit of a cold and I feel a bit rubbish. Well, do you know what? I know really what my body wants is a really nourishing bowl of soup. So I'm going to push myself. It might not be the pattern that I formed in my life that this is what treat means, but I'm gonna try it and give it a go. I make the soup and I can see I'm using really good ingredients here. I eat it, and afterwards I feel better. Like I don't just stay at that level of feeling crappy. That is a treat. That is actually treating myself. And treating yourself, medicine, holistic, like and then once you've done that a couple of times by discipline, the discipline of pushing myself. I don't want to make myself a healthy food, but I know I should, so I'll do it. Once I'd done that and had that experience, then like you said, next time I could draw on the emotional memory of, but last time I made myself the nourishing thing and I actually felt better, so this time it's actually easier for me to choose. I don't have to use so much discipline and so much force to get myself to do it. I'm actually I'm doing it because I enjoy it, and that's like forming the new pattern, forming the new habit, making new connections in your brain with what is a treat, what does it mean to treat yourself. And this was one of the things a while ago, years ago, I couldn't have imagined that I would not want to shove myself full of a Chinese takeaway once a week. I don't know, I'm throwing things out here now, but like that I would choose something, I would choose to make myself something really nourishing over having some junk food or whatever it was. But it's because it's not something that you get to by thinking about it and imagining it. It's something you get to by just sort of doing it and then living that experience and
then as you change your habits, it's almost like I almost don't have any rubbish in the house.
Yes.
So there is no cupboard I can go to when I have that craving. Because I open the cupboard and it's just like dried pineapple, dried mango, or a dark chocolate.
That's such a good way. That's that discipline part of it, just removing yourself from it. We had that and we didn't even realise it was happening, because when we first lived together, we lived in northeast London, in South Woodford, with a corner shop 2 minutes around the road, with delivery service. We could get anything delivered to our door at any time of night almost, and so much convenience to just eat whatever you want. And then we moved to
and distract you from what you need to be dealing with.
And we moved to a village called Takeley, which is by Stansted Airport, so like Essex, Hertfordshire border, in the countryside. And suddenly there was no shop, and there was maybe one food, like an Indian place that did delivery, and you're like, yeah, we like that, but I'm not gonna eat just one at one place all the time. And so we just ate out less. We ate less of those. We didn't even realize really that it was happening. We just sort of removed ourselves from it, so we didn't have as much convenience. So we end up making our own food more. Then we moved to pretty much where we are now, on a farm which is even more isolated from all of those things. So it was just this process of like extracting ourselves away from that convenience without realizing. And that being the way that we moved, sort of broke those addictions really, or broke those habits. But if you can, from that experience, see what happened, you don't need to move out of the city to do that. You can just be aware of okay, I see what happened there, they just stopped having it, or they didn't have it in the house. And
it's just the awareness of actually connecting with your body while you're eating, and you can feel the effect of the food. You can feel the energy. Whether I always say I want to eat food that gives me energy. I don't want to eat food where I then have to lie on the sofa afterwards because my body is so busy digesting it.
And you have to. This is a thing where you have to become sensitive, and so many people are desensitized. This is with the word desensitized, right? We were saying earlier, just to put it in practical terms, literally like, okay, what to do, because it is like it sounds for a lot of people, if they're still under the line of nature that we said, which isn't a normal place to be. This is the problem. The whole of the cosmos is functioning as they should, except for human beings. And the thing is, like, if you're there, it's going to feel like, oh my God, there's only a daily slog ahead of me. And initially is that song, you can get it if you really want, but you must try. You succeed at last. So you've got to go like, okay, I'm going to do this. Now I've got to set up this atmosphere to stay inspired to do it. Like, and this is kind of like, this is in my heart, like even the reason why I don't really have time to do my thing formally, but I'm just like blasting my stories or something. I'm like, you know, just seeing someone who's like pumped in the daytime is sometimes fine. I'll do it. You know, now the thing is, what I'm trying to say is there is a place for a lot of people that haven't experienced it, I haven't experienced this until I got there by myself. Now the line in nature is not an actual literal, okay, let's measure it, but it's like there comes a point where you're like, oh damn, I'm really comfortable in this body. This body's not like throwing me curveballs left. It's like So now it doesn't mean so I'll tell you an actual story from my life that happened literally a month ago. I went to this wedding in Italy. I was going to play guitar for a friend's wedding. And we got there, and I think her dad is like he owns like part of Costa or something, so it was a very extravagant wedding. Now I'm there with some friends who
they like fine dining.
They like fine dining and all these things. Yeah. We live our lifestyle, so for a while I haven't really indulged much. Now I'm at this wedding, and there's just amazing food all over the place, and I'm like, well, this is not my thing. This is like, we don't have a robust, strong body so that we just eat lettuce leaves all the time. It's like, no, so you can take on experiences and experience life to like even higher dimension, right? So that day I was like full throttle, yeah. I, like, whatever I wanted, I ate it. It was like, I don't often eat cheese, you know, because it makes you toot and all sorts of things. But they had fresh mozzarella being made right there, so I went, and then in the evening they had martinis and cocktails and things. And it's like 12 o'clock in the evening, you know, it's like midnight or something. And there's espresso martini. I've never had espresso martini. And I'm like, yeah, I'll have that. And my friends are like, you know, they're like watching me like, and I'm like, I had this one espresso martini, then I went and had another one. And I was like, I almost felt like I had to hold a little bit back, like on the dance floor or something, because I was making such a scene. But I was like, oh, it really feels like I'm almost muzzled right now, where really I want to just cut shapes all over. And then the next morning I had like 2 hours sleep. I was up and I did my sadhana, like my daily spiritual practice, and which includes movement and all the stretches and stuff. Because, and this is something that is for sure absolute in my experience, is the body is weak without, if you're just trying to do stuff with your body, it's really hard. If you've got the vibes or the atmosphere to go with it. So because I was so buzzed from this amazing night, the previous night, I had 2 hours sleep and I got up and I did my full sadhana, which is like 2 hours long and quite intense on the body. And my body wasn't, you know, it was tired and stuff, but because I was so happy and pumped, with ease I did it. And then I popped out there and everyone else is like, oh my God, I'm so tired, and they're like hungover and stuff, and I'm just there. And this is what I mean, when you succeed at last in the physical thing, you do get to indulge sometimes, not, you know, but then you know absolutely when you want to, and when, okay, this is not serving me. If I'm doing this every day, it's not serving me. Because then the very next day we were at the airport and everyone is still getting the decadent food and stuff, and I'm just there eating fruit. And a friend, one of our friends was like, oh man, I don't know how you can do this, because I'm just like, I just sort of do the decadent thing after the decadent thing because this is what I like. And I was like, then I truly realized, and I always like, in myself I became a bit emotional to it, because I was like, yeah, it is, I suppose there is a discipline to it, and it's not that I don't crave to have this stuff. I just know that if I want a full experience of life, you gotta like keep the discipline on and stuff. But that story was meant to be inspirational, to be like, yo, but then when the time comes, you can indulge more than anyone else with no problem. No problem whatsoever.
And you can really enjoy it rather than
because you also know how you set the system right again straight away afterwards, you know?
It's that tool.
It's that eating just fruit will detox all the stuff you've had.
You digest really quickly, and then you do a massive poo. Wow, I'm only little. Oh, that came out of me.
That's it. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's how it
And
works.
like the sadhana, I find like I can really feel if I'm like traveling on a day or whatever, and like the other day I had to get up at 3 o'clock to get a flight at 5, so I didn't do my normal
there's
morning
not time
sadhana.
for it, yeah.
And I can really feel the difference in my own being when I haven't done my breathwork meditation yoga in the morning.
Yeah.
There is a difference. It's
Yeah.
almost like as a high vibrational being, you need.
Yeah, you gotta keep your instrument, your
Tuned.
equipment, lubricated
Yeah.
and frictionless.
Yeah.
And if you feel friction, this is like if you got leg ache, you don't just keep avoiding it by like painkillers and things.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, oh, my leg is weak, I've got to strengthen it. That's gonna hurt the initial thing. So now I gotta get someone with absolute high vibes to keep watching, so that I've got inspiration to do it, because it will hurt. But the little bit of hurt that the leg brings you is, you'll find eventually, actually, it's not that you don't feel less pain, it's just you can handle so much more pain. And that what you thought was loads of pain at that time is actually freaking, it's nothing if you've got your spirits up. you
Yeah.
know? And I'm using that word spirits up as in like, if you're just joyful by your own nature, because you're putting your attention on things that will make you joyful and things that are actually worthwhile in your life. It doesn't have to be so hard, like it needs to be, but only you can know. And you've got to do it fiercely, like without, screw everyone else's opinions, screw my opinions, like this guy. If you're doing the opposite but it's working, it has to work. That's the thing, absolutely has to work. If you're bullshitting yourself, then you're gonna get
losing.
bullshit.
Yeah. That would be a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it is, and it is hard. I'm swallowing it all the time as well. Like literally the other day, like I said, my yogi pride was hurt because I slept 10 hours. But it's because for 3 weeks we were sort of out on the road, uncertainty after uncertainty. Like what I wasn't sort of recognizing in a moment, because I was just dealing with crises. I didn't realize that I was stepping over my own comfort zone constantly. I was just constantly and just doing things. And then, I was in like a sympathetic nervous system state. And then the moment we got to chill, you're like, oh,
No.
okay, but now I got to take the time to rest and recalibrate. And,
It's
no
funny
problem.
how sort of you will get triggered with the emotional patterns that were your thing. Like my thing used to be guilt. So when I then have a few days where I might not do the yoga because stuff is happening,
When you're getting a bit tired,
and then I get really guilty. So for me, the thing was to actually allow myself to be okay with having a few days where I might not do it,
Yeah.
or where I might find my union with the divine in a walk, or in just a moment of stillness during the day, as opposed to being on the yoga mat in the morning and doing the meditation, the breathwork at the full speed, the full program.
That way is such a masculine way of doing it as well, because I don't have a period. The male cycle is like
Daily, right?
daily. So I realize sometimes 5 o'clock or whatever is like, if I want to, that can be my sad time of the day. But I feel really successful if I get to that, if that passes by and I'm like, oh, I just went through it, no problem. But this is the thing for a lot of people, if you've got especially today, like people with a female body, literally I'm talking physical aspects, where you have a period or you bleed, if you're trying to every day do the same thing, you're going to find that on certain times of the month it's going to be a lot harder, and you've got to have so much discipline. You almost have to do it like you've got to be super masculine to do it like that. So, if you understand yourself like that and you're like, okay, why am I doing this? Like, why? What the hell is the point? Like, is this really working or not? And that's like, every person has their own, because I do bow down to, there are, people with, who bleed or whatever, who are able to be so disciplined like that, like a soldier or something. And that's also, but that's going beyond your physicality in a way, which is every human being should in their own way go beyond their physicality in their life, so that you can be more than you were like yesterday or whatever. You should always strive for more, but you've got to realize, this is what we're saying, in physicality it will always be incremental, so you'll never get to an end goal. But in the non-physical thing, you've got to arrive right now. If you don't arrive right now, then it's like you're not getting it yet. You've got to then.
Yeah, I loved this. I think it was this morning. I don't know if you read the Sadhguru message, and there was something about if you are looking for fulfillment from the physical world, there will always be more that you can put in your pockets.
Yeah.
Whereas on the spiritual path, you're looking for emptiness, and when you reach nothingness, there is no extension to the nothingness.
Yeah, everyone
There
wants
is
to
no
go
more of
somewhere.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone always wants to go somewhere, but the spiritual. But this is the quote, I think, was that it's but the whole point of doing your spiritual journey is to realize, oh wow, there's literally nowhere to go. My well-being, my joy, my experience of this life is created from within. So what I got to see is that I've got to be able to sit here and be blissed out, be joyful. Then I will flower to my full potential. But if I constantly have to go somewhere to get that joy, that means you're going to lose it the moment you leave. And you're not gonna. It's nothing. You will never have it, because the moment, if you put it in a person, if that person dies or if they decide to leave, then your joy goes and you don't know how to keep it. So, but you realize, oh, but I'm using that person to create the story to make myself happy.
Yeah.
Now I'm just gonna realize how can I just sit here and create my story, make myself happy, and then no matter what you touch will be a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Watch your tower crumble as you fall, and the nights may grow colder and the day feels so long, but the light inside will help to keep you warm. Feel the ground beneath me, the moon shines through the night. I hold my bow in my left hand and my arrow in my right. I lift my bow up to my eye and I call on the ancient song. My right hand brings the arrow with its pointed tip so strong. But the arrow only soars if it is guided by the bow. Without the right alignment, it has nowhere to go. But if my bow is too weak and my hand is quivering, the arrow will be knocked off course and causes suffering. If the two are balanced, they can light the endless road. Keep the wheel turning and bear the heavy load. For we all stand together, or we don't stand at all. Watch your tower crumble as you fall, and the nights may grow colder and the day feels so long, but the light inside will help to keep you warm. Down by the river, where my soul is laid to rest, the tangled folk who spin the wheel have completed their quest. I feel the space between me, and I neither float nor sink. Although I cannot be seen, I am, therefore I think. And suddenly I doesn't feel like I is anymore. We dangle from our web to touch our tiptoes on the floor. If the connection's grounded, we'll send lightning through the stars. Release an inner vision to let go of all the lies. For we all stand together, or we don't stand at all. Watch your tower crumble as you fall, and the nights may grow colder and the day feels so long, but the light inside will help to keep you warm. For we all stand together, or we don't stand at all. Watch your tower crumble as you fall. Oh, and the nights may grow colder and this day feels so long, but the light inside will help to keep you warm.
Lovely. Wonderful.
It's life.
Yeah,
it's all
perfect.
life. Yeah. Yeah.
It was quite nice having the ambience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, we're not
Yeah.
pretending anything.
Yeah.
It's perfect.